This is the HTX 4K. It's a blistering fast, ultra lightweight mouse with some crazy specs. It weighs around 40 grams, has a 3395 sensor, and the polling rate is 4000 Hz. We're going to compare it to the new Viper Mini Signature Edition and also the Atlantis Mini a bit throughout the video, but first let's take a look at what you get inside the box. You get the mouse itself, of course, with 2 extra set of Ptfe feet and 2 cables. One is a soft braided USB Type-C cable, and the other is a stiff rubber micro USB cable that stays connected to the dongle at all times. The Type-C cable is just for charging, and keep in mind when you charge this mouse it only runs at a 1000 Hz polling rate, but when it's on wireless mode on the micro USB cable it defaults to 4000 Hz. You also get an extra battery and battery tester that comes in this little case. You get some very nice grip tape. Also, they give you a sticker cover for the bottom of the mouse if you want to cover it. You get a brush to clean your mouse, and there's a tiny little blue stick that you can use to turn your mouse on or off. They even throw some cologne in for all you sweaty gamers out there. The dimensions here are 119 millimeters long, 63.5 at the grip, and it's 36 millimeters tall. Taking a look at the Viper Mini's dimensions, it's definitely pretty close in size. The shape is very similar when looking at it from the side, but the buttons sit lower on the HTX and they're at a steeper angle. The sides on the HTX are very similar to the Viper Minis, but the rear flares out a bit more on the HTX. The grip is a bit wider than the Viper Minis, and the back hump isn't quite as hand-feeling as some mice, but there's definitely enough support to get a stable, controlled claw grip. If you tried the Viper Mini and you thought it was a bit too narrow, but you liked everything else, then you might really love the HTX. I know people are going to ask how it feels compared to the Atlantis Mini, and I would say the HTX is better suited for fingertip and the Atlantis Mini is better for claw grip. The sides on the Mini are straighter, which feels better while using a claw grip, but that makes it a bit harder to maneuver the mouse with my ring finger, pinky, and thumb while using a fingertip grip. The Mini lets you get really planted in a claw grip with those straight sides, and the hump in the back gives you more support around your knuckles and palm. So basically, if you claw grip, snag the Atlantis Mini. If you fingertip, go with the HTX. At the time of making this video, there are 3 colorways available for the HTX. There's black, white, and red, although the red looks more like pink on their website. The coating feels really good. It's been very grippy so far with claw and fingertip. I actually haven't been able to get a good grip on the Viper Mini at all. I'm really just not a fan of metal mice because they don't feel as grippy to me. This is most likely because I have really cold, dry hands most of the time. The Mini just feels cold and slick and takes much longer to warm up while gaming on it. The HTX warms up in a matter of minutes and it starts sticking to my hand, which leads to better grip and more control. You can order the HTX with or without holes. If you choose the solid version, it's rated for 43 grams. Without holes, it's rated for 39. I get 41 on my scale, and I would definitely recommend buying the version without the holes on this mouse. The weight balance is absolutely incredible. It feels like there's nothing in my hand, so I really doubt a few extra grams will even be noticeable on this mouse. The build quality is exceptional for only weighing 41 grams. There's no flexing or creaking on the sides. The side buttons don't activate if I'm squeezing on it really hard, and when I shake it, nothing rattles. There is some flex on the top and bottom where all the holes are, but this is minimal on the top and more flexible on the bottom, but neither of these issues are a problem in real use at all. Buttons 1 and 2 do have some wobble when I check for it, but I haven't felt this in game or regular use, and there's been 0 grinding on my copy. The switches here are zippies and they're rated for 60 million clicks, and overall they feel solid. My left click has a bit more pre-travel than the right, making it feel a little less tactile, but it's nothing I noticed while in game. The side buttons are light, crispy, and really easy to spam. They sound and feel great, and the placement is just about perfect. I can rock my thumb up or down and easily press these buttons, or I can lift my thumb up and they're just right there, so it's really easy to click them. If you're into Fortnite, then you're probably gonna love these side buttons. The scroll wheel is also very high quality. It's a nice rubber wheel with some textured dots to give you extra grip. It's tactile, so you can easily feel individual steps in games like Counter-Strike, but it also feels really nice in everyday use, like browsing the web. Tensioning to depress feels good, so it's easy to spam your teammates in games like Apex, and I haven't had any accidental inputs on the scroll wheel so far, but this is happening on my new Viper Mini. Also, the scroll wheel on the Viper Mini is too slick for me, kind of like the coating. I can't really get a good grip on it because it's metal. Luckily, that's not a problem on the HTX, and the scroll wheel here is very grippy. Overall, they did a great job with the buttons on this mouse, and even the DPI button sounds and feels great. Flipping it over, we have two narrow but high quality Ptfe feet. They're fast, smooth, and they're rounded off. The sensor here is a 3395. It sits slightly forward on the mouse, but it feels really natural, and I didn't even think about the placement until I went to make this review. Tracking and flick shots feel buttery smooth on this 3395. The implementation feels great. It's very snappy and crispy. I've had zero input lag or any sort of delays regarding the sensor or the wireless performance. The sensor here doesn't have a Ptfe ring around it, but you can always install one with the extra feet that came inside the box. The software for the HTX is very light. It doesn't run in the background. You can just run the exe and set things up how you like, and then delete it if you want. You can rebind every button on the HTX with some really handy options as shown here. We actually have quite a bit of variety, from DPI settings to media and even polling rate options. Of course, you can change the obvious settings like debounce time, liftoff distance, and DPI, and you can enable or disable motion sync and monitor your battery life here. So far, gaming on this mouse has been amazing. It really is a fingertip grip beast in game. The weight just makes it feel like there's almost nothing in my hand. Tracking and flicking just takes no effort because of the smooth glide and extreme low weight. So this mouse is $170, which is certainly a lot for a mouse, but you have to remember this is a super lightweight mouse with top of the line performance and specs. It certainly feels like a bargain next to the Viper Mini Signature Edition being over $100 cheaper. And I think this size and shape are going to be a better fit for the average person over the Viper Mini. As a longtime user of the original Viper Mini, an absolutely humongous fan of that mouse, I can't recommend the new Signature Edition over the HTX, not even a little. And I don't even recommend it at all. Wait for the Plastic Pro version that should be out sometime this summer. Overall, for the HTX, I definitely would have preferred if this mouse had fewer accessories in the box and a lower price tag. But if you've got the cash and you're looking for a super solid lightweight mouse, but don't want to get Viper Mini stupid with the price, then this is an easy mouse to recommend. If you found this video helpful, then consider subscribing, and also if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'll get to it when I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.